Good evening, everyone.
Good
Good
evening,
evening.
Professor.
Good evening.
How are you all?
Good evening.
We are
Well,
good.
wonderful. Nice to see you all. I don't know if maybe Philip, should we give a few more moments, maybe 1 more minute, perhaps 1 or 2, to see if anyone else joins?
Yeah, good evening, colleagues.
Evening, Philip.
Good evening.
Good evening, Philip.
Good evening. You can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
okay.
yes, I
Yeah.
can hear you.
Okay, great. Yeah. So today we were to have an open session, just to touch base after a week of engaging with content. So we thought it was good at least to get to hear from you where you are, some of the challenges, and probably if we could tackle them here or give get answers, and then probably as we chat our way forward for the next 1 week. So probably I'll pass this over to Dr. Wanjira to lead the process.
Thank you very much, Philip. As Philip has mentioned, we just want this to be a checkpoint session, just to see where everyone is, anything that jumps out that you can share with us and also with colleagues, and just for us to make sure that everything is lining up well for you, and also to share the feedback on and progress on our side. So those were the main agendas. So it's open, it's really a conversation, a discussion amongst us. But before we go too far, I know Bernadette has to be someplace else, but I just wanted her to maybe spend about 2 minutes. She's graciously been able to join in to show us sometimes, I think some people are having a bit of a hard time when you finish the module, how you advance to the next one. So in some cases, some participants finish the activities, but then they don't advance to the next module. So I just wanted her to demonstrate how to get that, and then we can keep the process moving. Yeah, so thanks, Bernadette, for joining us.
Okay, thank you. So let me just share my screen. And as I welcome everybody to the meeting, and I think we are doing well. So, kindly enable me to share my screen.
Okay, yeah, let me do that right now.
Okay, not yet. I can try now.
I'm still not able to, just one second. Philip, are you able to give her permissions? I'm not able to do that on my end for some reason.
She had actually managed to do it. I could see her.
Oh, was she? Okay.
Sharing. Did I share my screen?
No, we don't see it yet.
Yeah, host has disabled my
Yes, I'm
screen
looking
sharing.
for why, because I don't see the option to make you host. But let me, why don't I share my screen and then we go with that, and then you can walk through.
That's okay. That's
Yeah.
fine. Mhm. Yeah, all right.
Okay.
So, now when you get to module 0, you have to finish the activities there. For example, just scroll down. Scroll to an assignment. This one, MO Academic Integrity, for example, just click on the link. You have to finish with everything here. Begin, go to begin. Then you have to agree with this question. And then you submit. Once you're done with that, just click OK or go back to modules. Go back there. Let's go to the discussion. I think it's the one with the link that opens the next one. Should be the last one. The self-introduction, that one. So you have to create a thread. Let's just demonstrate. You create the thread. Then you, subject can be your name. Or greetings, that's okay. Then a short message. Submit. Let's go back to learning modules. Okay. Then let's do the other one. Just scroll down. It's a syllabus quiz. Begin. False. That's okay. Everything except edit HTML and that one. Evaluate validity of websites. Yeah, everything else. Agree. 8. Okay, submit. Okay. Great. Now we should have module 1. It's not yet there. Okay. Did we fail? I wish I could share my screen because I had done all this already.
Okay. All right. Let me see why I'm not able to give you host rights. Okay.
Are you the host?
I'm co-host.
Okay.
No, it doesn't give me an option to make you the host, unfortunately. But maybe you can walk through. You can just explain what.
Okay,
the
so
participants while I look for that
anyway,
option.
majority of the people have actually already gone to module 1. And it's below that folder of module 1 where you have something that says reviewed. Just the word reviewed, and besides it, there's a place to tick. You click there for the tick to appear. And then you're able to access module 2. It just appears once you do that. I'm sure many of us here have already done that. For example, Prof. Damari. Prof. Damari, I know you're in module 3 now. So you are able to click reviewed in order to move on, yeah?
Yes, that's what I was going to explain. It takes a few minutes. It doesn't just come on automatically. It takes a few minutes and then it will come.
It will appear. Okay.
Thank you.
And actually, Bernadette, I think I've managed. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so you can try also.
Okay, yeah, I think we were trying to hurry the system.
Mm.
Okay. So you can share your screen again, Prof. Wanjira.
Actually, give it a try. I think you should be able this time.
To share, yeah?
Give it a try.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, so once you start with, you do all the things that you're supposed to do in module 0, then module 1 comes alive. And for me, module 1 is not there, but anyway, this is module 2 now. So this is what I'm talking about. This area that says reviewed, yeah? Some of us are getting stuck because you're finished with module 2 and then you don't know how to proceed. So to proceed, you need to here, reviewed, okay? And then this will mark the item as unreviewed, blah, blah, blah. So the tick should be there. You see, it's written mark reviewed. So you click there and then it is reviewed. It has that tick and then gives you the next module. Then you're able to proceed like that. Is that what you wanted me to demonstrate, Prof. Wanjira?
Yes, that was it. Yeah, because I think we got a few questions. Some colleagues finished, but then they couldn't advance, yet they had made all the necessary submissions. So thank you for your clarification.
Before you go,
Yes.
if I wanted, for example, on that module 2, and I wanted to attach that canvas, but yet it doesn't show the assignment section, what do I do?
Okay, let me just go into module 2, Prof. And then you're doing where you're supposed to attach.
Yeah, to put in Word and then fill out that, yes, that canvas there.
This one.
And then supposed to submit as an attachment.
Yeah, so you have managed to download the course content alignment worksheet.
Yes, and I filled it out. But then when I went to see where to submit, it doesn't give the option for assignment to click on.
Okay. So the submission instructions are here. So you click on the assignment link titled.
Yeah, that's the one that is not visible.
It's this one. It's this. So I can just click to demonstrate. If I click there, then I will be able to see that the assignment is 15 points and I can begin. You see here, assignment submission. If you just scroll down, then you have either write your submission, browse local files. So I'll browse. Yeah, that's okay.
I was looking in the left column, the thing assignment. That's where I couldn't find.
Oh, okay, great. Anything else?
So maybe if anyone has any more specific questions about the navigation We can answer those now, and then anything else to do with the content we can do after.
Okay. I suppose we are okay now.
We're good, yes.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to,
Yes.
Mutua wants to speak. I think the biggest challenge was just navigating technology. There were systems that were not working completely for several days. So I started recording my video. Was it Tuesday? And it was giving me echo throughout. However, I try, and I think I was good. It refused to record until I had to use several devices, and finally it accepted. So I think it is just a matter of tinkering with technology. That is our biggest problem. But once we navigate that, the rest is easy. I would say so for myself.
Okay. Thank you for
Yeah,
that.
I can say, I can speak to that. What it does is there is the delayed sound and not matching the visual, my mouth and the sound. I don't know how to deal with that.
That is in Flip.
Yes, in Flip, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
there is an echo.
Okay. The whole idea is to introduce you to different technologies. So we chose Flip, number one, because it is free and we can all, record as many as possible. But the whole idea is that you're able to navigate that technology. That's number one. So number two, if it's not working as perfectly as we would want it to work, then there would be no harm introducing a similar technology. So if you're able to navigate it, then you would be able to navigate any other technology that records. And that's the learning point, yeah? However, I'm really sorry about that if it has an echo.
Kindly, Benedict, should I ask?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard what you've said, but I hope you, I know probably you mean the online technologies, but I would have recorded on my phone and brought that video into Flip. And
yes.
Yet, is it possible? Were we allowed to do that? Because that is where I was stuck at.
Okay. The version that we have will not allow us to import. Actually, if you noticed, it also has a time limit. And
yes, 45 seconds.
Yeah, so it's like we are limited to that time, because if we import our own, we'll bring in very heavy files that will require a lot of storage and the like. But remember, the idea is to get that experience of how to use that technology.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And Bernadette, I'm also wondering if that maybe the echo is because it's the free version, or you don't think has anything to do with it.
Free versions usually have those kind of issues.
Okay.
Yeah, so it could be.
Excuse me, Benedict. I uploaded mine. I recorded somewhere and uploaded and it accepted. What do you mean by it's not accepting the uploaded version?
If we all upload, we will not manage. It will get stuck at some point. That's why we were discouraging the uploading.
But there's somewhere you wrote, it is an instruction that you can use your phone
Yes,
to record yourself.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's module.
Actually, I did the same thing. I took it from my phone and then I
uploaded.
I uploaded, and like he's saying, there was somewhere where you said you could actually do that. So
yes, there's somewhere.
That's even what gave me the pointer to do that.
Okay.
Maybe, Bernadette, that could have been the instructions for the full version. So that's the possibility. The instructions that were provided.
It's on module 1.
Yeah,
one.
I don't have module one right now on my screen. Okay, I guess it's okay then. If you can
If it
record
works,
on your
that's
phone, if it doesn't work, but the idea is to learn how to use the technology. So either way, we will have your video. Actually, there is a place on the same instruction that says you will get the full points for attempting, yeah? So long as you have attempted, you have followed that, because the underlying thing is to learn how to use a technology to record.
And the transferability of skills as well. So if you can use it, generally it's just often just different companies doing somewhat similar, not always, but generally the step by step, once you know one, you're able to transfer those same skills. And then, so whichever software you end up or we end up using, then at least you'll have some familiarity with it.
Okay.
And I think there's one more hand up. I don't know if that has to do with the Blackboard as well.
The iPhone. Yeah.
Oh, that must be me. I've already expressed myself. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I think so, Bernadette, I think if there are no more questions, we thank you so much for joining us. And we appreciate you walking us through the platform.
Okay, most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All right, so maybe we can continue. Maybe take more questions, maybe I'll mention two things. If there are no questions right away, you might think about something as we talk. But one of the things we would like to encourage is we have a community forum. So it would be great if we could use that to answer questions and talk to each other about different things that are coming up and how we can help each other. So that's another way of doing that. So I can demonstrate where that is on my end. So again, I'm in the course, and I'll just, how I got to it is I clicked on the discussions, and if you scroll to the end, we've got the different discussions for the different modules, but we've got the general forum where we'll be encouraging everyone to ask a question, questions such as this one. So maybe you encounter same issue we've just been discussing. Somebody else might already have a solution, or if not, then all of us can brainstorm and the facilitation team can jump in. So anything, this is an anything and everything type of forum that relates to the course, and just thinking about how we can help each other answer the questions. So I just wanted to mention that, feel free to post anything there. We check that, we'll be checking that regularly. We posted it when we realized we were getting some of the same questions, and then we were responding individually via email, but not everybody gets the benefit of that answer. We haven't identified if anybody else has a similar question. So I just want to encourage us to do that. So please feel free to publish, and then we'll also start a thread. So it'll work the same as the other threads. This is non-graded, but it is a place for us to convene and answer questions. So that's one. I don't know if there's any comments or commentary on that. Any questions? Any comments? The other item I wanted to mention is I won't open this because there are messagings, but we do have a course messaging. You can also direct message each other or ask the facilitation team.
Prof. Wanjira.
So you can click on that.
Prof. Wanjira.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
Maybe before you move to the next item which you've moved to, I had wanted to use the community forum to raise a question I had, and it wasn't working at that time. I haven't tried to use it again,
Okay.
But I
When
will
was
try.
it?
Yeah, I was
When?
raising the issue that, you know, the course began on Thursday when we held our
Yes.
first meeting. And
Yes.
then we had to access module 0, go through it before module 1. But then I found a challenge because when I went to module module 1 to do the self-introduction, it seemed to me that the deadline had passed. So I still went ahead and did my self-introduction and posted, but I sent an email. I went to the course email and I sent an email which went to everybody. So yeah, I just wanted to point out that and to explain myself why I had to use the email rather than the community forum. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, so you're right. It might have been either the dates had not been aligned or it hadn't been activated. So we've taken note of that. So thank you for sharing. Yeah, I mean, you can feel it's okay to do what you did. That's perfectly fine. It's just that then others don't see they're not able to reply directly to everybody else. So this works well when everybody will benefit. Sometimes we get messages that are very personal, you know, I can't find this, or I'm late, or something that doesn't necessarily go to a forum. So we'll make a note of that, Damari. Thank you for that. Yes. And I stopped sharing for a moment because my screen was a bit laggy, but I'm back. And I see some questions. And before I jump into what I was going to say, let me answer the questions that I see from Albert. Yes, is it possible to notify participants if they have not completed a module? And Philip has responded to that. So it's possible to do that, but we actually have to do it manually. So we go in and look at the analytics, check to see maybe the last date of posting or last date course accessed, and then we cross-match that with what's been submitted or not submitted, and then we individualize the reminders. But it would be nice maybe if you can tell us in advance if you're anticipating that there'll be some delays, then we'll also keep that in mind, so that at least everything flows and we are not worried that you're not going to be able to catch up with the next module. So thank you for that question. I don't know, Philip, I think you're in and out, but I don't know if you have anything else to add to that. If you're not, oh, he might be in a bit he's on mute. Okay, so I like what Safari says. I don't know if Safari you want to expand on that, but I agree with it. And I'll also add that in some cases, we have very large classes. So sometimes it's a bit more difficult to individualize and track everything. So it's also introducing possibilities that we on the facilitation side, or for you, when it comes to your time for teaching, you might also experience the same issues. Maybe Safari, you can share with us personal experience, if you don't mind.
No, it just came to my mind because you know, when faculty teach online and they have never been in a situation like this where they are online students, it's hard for them to understand the requests that students are coming from the students. And so having been through this and seeing that the struggles are real, I really hope that it can develop that in us. So when students, it is true that sometimes students will lie. I mean, students will always be students, but we need to really be much more open than somebody who has never been in an online class as a student. So it is good we're going through the struggles. It is part of the learning process.
Yeah, thanks for that flip side perspective. So on the student side, we talked about this a little bit last week. we develop or illustrate more empathy. But at the same time, we also have to think about the balance of where maybe in a class of 40 and 21 students are asking for exceptions. So what that means in terms of the load on the instructor. And those become some of the things that are a little bit more difficult to catch, or some things are then easier to miss because you're getting 20 requests and then you reply to 18 and 2 people don't get the same benefit or extension or whatever it is they're requesting. So I think that what you brought up, Safari, is also an interesting one, because then it means when you think about deadlines, so what specifically are deadlines, so are they changeable? Are they movable? Are they extendable? Are they, do you look at them on a case-by-case basis? And those are the things, as you're thinking about how you want your class to run, how you build that into that whole course culture. So again, some of this comes with one, like we've said, the personal experience, and number 2, the situation on the ground, the experience and the logistics that we have to go by. I know in some instances, and I'm not saying this might be in your case necessarily, or it could be in the future, there's flexibility built along the way, because we understand what the challenges are. But then when it comes to particular assignments, like the final, those ones are non-negotiable in most instances. So because it then has repercussions for when grades are due, when they're submitted, when does the registrar get them, all those different conversations then come into play. So as you make those determinations in your own situations, those are some things to keep in mind. Yeah. So anyone with a bit of an experience on that to share, or some more insights?
Yes, Wanjira, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Yes, I was just doing everything on my Blackboard to just get things done through trial and error, some of them. And I experienced challenges, some which were on my side, but others which were also on, the instruction side, but I managed to just get through to Prof. Machoka, and I got assistance there, got assistance from Ernest, and I was able to, to just navigate a few things. Now, I've noticed, one thing I've noticed with assignments is they are falling due on Thursdays from the schedule I saw. But what you should, some of us have very heavy, very heavy loads on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Those are our heaviest days, meaning that we may not be able to do very well on these assignments. So yes, so that might need some consideration.
Okay.
All right. Because yes,
okay.
because
thank you for sharing that.
When we are getting that, we are not, our timings are different. Yes, so some of us Monday to Wednesday are no touch zones. Yes, because we have very heavy workload those days.
Okay.
But we begin to ease off as the week begins to end, just to find that we may have missed some deadlines.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what I can say about that is, and let me go to the syllabus.
Like now, when we look at week 2, week 2 is due when?
Tonight.
The work for week. Yes. And now some of us have not had time to, we got stuck with assignment with week 1, and then we have a very heavy beginning of the week. So that doesn't really work in our favor. So we need some flexibility.
Okay. So thank you for bringing that up. So what I will say that topic is we put those dates as really previously, as long as, and we talked about this last week, as long as by the end of the course, you have submitted everything, you will get credit. There's the 80% that you need to be able to have successfully completed. But the reason why we put these dates is so that you can work towards that. We also don't want a situation where we've come to the end of the term and you're trying to do 5 modules in 2 days, because that one will really be difficult for you. But we do take into account that you have more heavy days, and sometimes even when I say light days, they're not necessarily light days, because most times people might even only have a chance on the weekend to do that. So in those situations, just as I said, just let us know and we'll just do this on a one-on-one basis. Or in the event that we just realize that it's still very difficult for you to do that, we will be flexible in allowing you to make sure that as long as we have everything in by the end of the course, that will be taken into account. So, but again, it's really
how it should be. That's how it should be.
But if you don't put dates,
if you aim at having everything at the end, then we'll see how to organize and manage our time.
The challenge with that is if we leave it open-ended, it becomes even more complex. So we like to put dates so that you also have something to work towards. And we've done it in the way you're saying it. But then what that does is it's like you're crashing everything together. So even the experience that you're getting with learning, it's not the same. It's because it's really a matter of I'm trying to finish everything, as opposed to yes, I am trying to finish everything, but am I actually gaining something? So what you can do in some of those circumstances is to do the readings, at least get a sense of the course. And then when it comes to the assignments, then you can step a little bit back and then try and follow it that way. And then at least it eases the burden on you. And then also for the facilitator side, it also helps because it helps pace how we are doing things. Maybe like now we finish grading module 0. So the next batch that comes, even if it's not 100%, we know that we've got at least a percentage of participants who have at least submitted something. So we also are waiting at the very end, trying to grade more modules worth of assignments in a very, very short time. So it's really about balancing that element. Yeah, but I hope, but I've taken that feedback into account, and then I'll share it with the rest of the team and see what else we're able to do. And then we'll share that back either by our community forum or maybe at our next meeting. I hope
yes,
that's
and we have different learning styles.
Yes.
We have different learning styles. We can work on crash programs, we can, and still learn. But we at this level, we have different learning styles. Yes.
Okay. I like Damari's question. I don't know if Damari can maybe expand. And then I think Sylvester is also raising his hand. So Damari asks, do we give our students deadline? If so, are we now in their shoes to help us think through how we are setting it? Yeah. So I don't know if Damari, you want to expand on that a tiny bit?
Maybe not expand, but I'm just helping us get to understand there is a reason as to why deadlines are given. Yeah. When we do it with our students, we are also helping them to manage their time so that they can do everything else they have to do, but meet that particular deadline. Of course, some of them will not. They will come to us and listening to what they have to say, we might extend the time for them. I just did for one group assignment for a group that was meant to submit yesterday. But from the explanation, I was that understanding and I extended the time. Now, I look at this course as, how do I put it, you know, as a shadow course. We are shadowing the students. We are putting ourselves in their shoes. And while I acknowledge we have too much that is going on, for example, I identify with Prof. Linge when she says Monday through to Wednesday is a no-go zone. The same applies to me. Those are my teaching days, and I go on until 9 in the night. And by the time I'm getting to Thursday, I'm a zombie. And then you find Thursday there are school meetings, or you have to participate in some meetings, etc. So in the midst of all that I have to do, I am a mother, grandmother, a friend, and what have you. I still have to factor in that I am now a student as well. And this is what our students go through. So the more we are asking for open-ended assignments, the more then we will not be able to identify with the students and think through the kind of timelines we give them for various activities. So that's what I meant. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for that elaboration. So I think it's really for us to, we'll do what we can on our end. I can promise you that. So if you say, because if I go back and disrupt everything that we've programmed, it will throw things off a little bit. So what I can say is we will be flexible as things arise, let us know, and we build it, just like Damari has said, we build it into that. We take into consideration. So we like to think about those as milestones. I'm just also thinking about sometimes even in the kind of work we do, maybe you're submitting for a grant and it says it has to be in, and then the system closes, and things like that. That's generally what happens, where it also helps people on the other side manage the process. And then after that, it's a case-by-case basis. So we are happy to be open to that. But I think for now, I'll talk with the rest of the team, and then we'll see how much we're able to change. But I'm hesitant to go and change the course schedule at this point, because there are some who are able to do that. So that also disrupts them. But then let's do this. Send Philip, myself, Bernadette, Ernest a message, and then we'll do what we can in this situation. And as Sylvester, I think you wanted to add something.
Yeah, I think I just wanted to say what you've just said. Kindly don't disrupt it so that we may pace ourselves, those who can. But then we also know that there is a latitude for what you've promised, that everything should be delivered at the end of the course. But it would be good for us to just feel what we put our students through. Actually, I would like to experience that. I pace myself so that I try to meet your deadlines. So that when I'm meeting them after, I had a very bad stretch trying to work out module 1, and it took me 3 days. It wasn't working at all because technology wasn't working, but at least I was able to deliver, and I would like to pace it to see how to just have that experience and see whether I would be able to meet your deadline. So that when I'm imposing deadlines on students, I know the challenges that they go through and how I can motivate them to just do their work. Yes. Of course, with a lot of leeway, is what you've given us, the latitude you've given us.
And again, we always, this is where the human side of what we do comes in. We look at a situation and there's so many things happening, and you really are not going to be so adamant about certain things when you can see there is a logic to what the student is telling you. So we understand life happens. And I just so happen to also be taking a course myself, a very different course. It's so I'm actually feeling, and mine is 8 weeks. It's just a professional development course. And I can exactly feel how you feel. Well, let me not say exactly, but I do understand. I can empathize, because things we meet twice a week. For an hour and a half, part of the points, this is a very rigid course. So they want you to be there for 3 hours live sessions, X number of hours of reading, watching videos. So it also makes me realize I'm experiencing what the participants are experiencing. So what would I like to see? What would I request the instructor in this particular case to? I'll give you an example. Like today we had a session for an hour and a half, and we had to, and everybody's in different parts of the world. You have to work out, okay, what's the best time zone for group meetings? What tools are we going to use to share? All that is left to the group of learners to make those determinations, and also to rely on people you don't know, you've not worked with before, but your grade depends on their contribution. So there's those dynamics. I'm not saying this is what's happening in this course, but it's just something else to think about as we design our learning experiences for the learners. What considerations do we build into that? So for me, I'm saying this is a good experience for me, because any course that I've taken more recently has been individual work. So I did one last year, which was also quite self-paced. It was individual work, but it helped me pace myself. And I knew I can only do this on Saturday mornings or Sunday evenings, or after the children go to sleep, whatever the case might be. But now there's a new variable here, because now I'm thinking there's 5 of us in this group. What happens if one of us isn't there? And in this particular case, the person could not attend. They could only attend virtually, asynchronously. So those kinds of considerations, again, when we're designing our assignments, our learning activities, it's something that you built in. And for me, this is a good experience, so that it helps me think about how to negotiate my way around such an assignment when we all have to depend on each other to make sure that we put our best foot forward. So that's just a little anecdote, a little bit aside from what we were saying, but to kind of emphasize the point that many things come across in an online learning environment. It could be the same. Some of these things could also be the same in physical classrooms. So we can take those lessons and also apply them to when we see our students face to face. Okay, so I don't see any other hands. So okay, so maybe I don't know if there's any more commentary on that topic. And the other one I was just going to show you was just one more thing we added that wasn't there last week. And this is again based on the feedback that we're getting from you. We added a resource section, and let me just share where that is located. So you might not have seen that last week, but it's here now. So we've added course resources. So in some instances, going back again to the example of what we were talking about using Flip. So when we get enough questions, or when we find things that are interesting or will supplement, but not necessarily fall under any specific module, we'll put them here. So for now, this is the one recording that from Bernadette. So we thank her for that. And we hope that as we get questions and things that we can share with you additionally, we'll also post them here. So that's just one more thing I wanted to mention. Okay. All right.
Yes,
So,
Manjira, actually that recording from Bernadette was very helpful to me. Yes, I stumbled across it, and it was helpful. It enabled me to just discover what wasn't working in my Flip.
Perfect. Yeah. So if you have requests that come along the way, as you think of something and you think, oh, do you have a resource on this, or where is a general link that is not specific to module 1 or 2 or 3, whichever, let us know, and then we'll keep adding things. And then what will happen, so thanks to you guys being the pioneer group, by the time we get to the next modules, the next cohorts, we'll have a bigger library. So that'll be actually not a bad thing, that we can always then go back, and whatever comes up in the subsequent cohorts, we can also import them here, because this course will be open to you for quite a while. So at the end of the training, it's not going to close. We'll still have this as a place to go back and see what else has been added, or to remind yourself of something that might have been covered at a very fast pace. Okay. All right. So the one last thing I want to mention is we want to set up one more session. And this time we'll do just like this one. It's open-ended, free discussion, Q&A. So we plan on having one next Tuesday. So we'll share the link. For those who can join us, that would be very nice. If not, then just like we are doing here, we shall record the session. So it should be the same link. We'll just share it and just send a reminder when we do that. So I think that might also help answer some of the questions after you finish the next set of modules, and that's also to prepare for the last batch of modules as we progress. So yeah, clearly 2.5 weeks is quite fast. But in general, this is about the length of training that I've seen in instances. So it's quite fast paced, but as I mentioned before, it also gives us an opportunity to then go back afterwards and then pick specifically at some areas maybe we didn't get into a lot of detail previously, or you didn't have a chance to explore in more depth. Okay. Don't see hands. I don't know if anyone has any more insights, questions, observations at this point. Okay, silence means no, I think. Okay. So if that's the case, then I'll give you back 7 minutes so that you can also maybe get home or finish whatever else you were working on. And then we hope to see the modules this evening. If you're not able to, please let us know about your progress. Okay, I don't know if.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. See you on Tuesday and on Blackboard as well.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you for being good sports.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Hello, director. Hello. Hello. Hello.